what has shaped or influenced your like music and songwriting?
Originally, I was classically trained. So I think the writing originally had a lot of art song influences. Like it sounded more classical, and even just how I structured things was just a little different. But then I actually studied guitar for a second in Red Hook in New York, and at this place called Jalopy Theater, which is a really cool theater if you like roots folk music. And I took that's how I learned how to play guitar. So that's kind of how I started more folky because it did kind of encompass a bit of the classical kind of art song singing, and then it kind of was moving into the singer-songwriter world, so kind of bridged that gap. And then I've always kind of wanted to do a project that's a little bit more like wild. And so Elour has come about slowly. I mean, I kind of wrote songs for it years ago and tried to play them folk style, but that didn't really work. So it's kind of just taken a long time to get this like new style out, which is just a little bit like harder and edgier than my folk stuff. It's very, I think it's like very female empowerment music, but it's also still talking about, you know, silly like love stuff.
How you like decided to like make your material femme rock and how it like what it means to you as well as like what you're trying to like seek with reaching other people with it.
I guess like I didn't really even know that wasn't a genre. I hope so,
You
because
can Google it.
that's what I called it. I just felt like I mean, everything's from my point of view. I write all the music. I feel like I am a very opinionated, strong woman in some ways. And a lot of my music was kind of talking about that. Like, and I feel like I have a song. I want a reputation. I think that's what it's called. And it's because reputation like never was like a good reputation. It was always like bad. So that song kind of is like that song idea is like I want a reputation. Like I want to be myself. I want to do and say the things that I believe in. And I think as a female, it's really hard to do that because like you get, I mean, a lot of women don't like you being strong. A lot of men don't like you being strong. So it's really hard, I think, as a female to really have confidence and to feel good about yourself because we're kind of taught not to. And so I guess femme rock is kind of trying to break out of the mold of maybe what we've been told being feminine is. So Good Girl is kind of the same. That's like a song from my EP. And it's, I'm a good girl, but I sometimes do bad things. Good. And it's like nobody is all good. But females especially kind of get this, people think they're supposed to like be really good. And if they aren't, then they're a bad girl. But it's like, no, I'm pretty good. But I'm like, I've had very wild moments, and I still do, like in life, where, you know, I get a little crazy, and you can still be good and also have moments where you really mess up, or you do some things that might shock other people. But that doesn't mean you're not good. So I guess I'm just playing with that idea of expectations on females and trying to break some of those for myself and maybe for other people listening, or, you know, I don't know, or just be fun to listen to. But it's female led by me, and I write all the tunes, and so I guess that's kind of the feminine piece as well. I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love a sweet, beautiful sound that's like gentle, that's quote unquote like fitting the stereotypical female vibe. I do like that too. But there's just something when you hear like a woman that's just like strong vocals, and she's saying things that you're like, oh wow, I never hear like females sing like that, or just kind of have that expression. So I do am more attuned with that kind of music.